Okay, now we've hit our first real project of the Animate series. So far, we've just been learning some animation tricks and a little bit about how to do them. So this is one where we try to put something together that you kind of make up. It's a little original animated movie. I've got a set of requirements for you here. I want to show you a couple of examples. This video is really for the purpose of just introducing this project to you and letting you kind of get started on it. If everything goes right, hopefully I'll be back tomorrow. And if you run into problems with your animation, I can help you with it. This is definitely a 2-day thing. So it's a today and tomorrow kind of deal. All right, so let's on the handout that's posted on Google Classroom, you'll see that this movie must be at least 15 seconds long. So I don't know if this is going to be your longest one that you've ever made. Maybe it will be. But there is a length requirement on this one. It has to be at least 15 seconds long. So you'll have to kind of be watching your timeline and looking to make sure that you did reach that length requirement. The movie has to tell a little bit of a story. Something has to happen in the movie. It can't just be like a ball bouncing for 15 seconds or somebody doing jumping jacks for 15 seconds. That's not a story. There's nothing happening in a movie. There's motion, but there's nothing happening. So you got to try and kind of tell a little story here. Something happens to a character, and I'm going to show you a couple of examples here in just a minute. Got to show a little effort on this. Don't just be sloppy and careless about things that you do. Try to make it look good. Do the best that you can. Try to remember things that you've learned. Ask for help when you need help. Like I said, if everything goes right, I'll be back tomorrow and I'll be able to help you along with this. I've got a few tips and everything listed on the handout here, but what I want to get down to on the handout is, well, here's some scoring information. Most of it is the length requirement. Right? Having it long enough is 50 points of this thing. So, and this is an 80-point project, and 50 of it is meeting the length requirement. So you're going to have to work it out, man. You're going to have to figure out how to make it long enough. It's got to be at least 15 seconds. So you're going to have to test your creativity a little bit and got to push it and make it at least 15 seconds. Now, some of you be careful and don't overcomplicate it and try to do something that's going to take you forever. Effort, 20 points, and having something happen, some kind of event, some kind of story in the animation, that's worth 10 points as well. But what I want to do is I want to roll on down here to these starter ideas that I have for you. If I can get my document to scroll. My goodness. It's being super slow. And now all of a sudden it just goes like a champ. All right, here we go. All right, stop. What are we doing? Finally, okay, finally got it on screen. Some ideas, a superhero movie where some superhero does something, tries to fly through a wall and doesn't make it, or I don't know, make something up. A romance idea where one character ask another character out on a date, and then how's it go? What happens? Do they go out on the date? Does somebody get shut down? What happens? An alien movie where some alien comes flying up in a spaceship and steals all the cows or something. I don't know. A disaster movie where something awful happens. An amazing feat. These are kind of fun, and I've got one that I'm going to show you here. Like somebody, I've got one where a guy on a motorcycle is going to jump over school buses. I'll show it to you in a minute. But this could be somebody diving off of a big cliff or a big platform and doing a fancy dive and splashing into the water, and they get a 10 out of 10 or whatever. Or a trick shot thing might be kind of fun. You have somebody kind of shoot a basketball up into the air, and it bounces off of this and off of that, and it goes around this and around that, and finally goes in the hoop at the end. Or does it? Maybe it doesn't go in the hoop at the end. That would be up to you, right? So these are, if you're thinking, I don't know what to do, some starter ideas. Maybe one of these might get you going. I don't know if it would or not. Let's hop over to Animate and look at a couple of my examples. And the thing I want to show you on these examples, the first one, the one called the red balloon, it's one layer. There are no scenes. The artwork is very simple. It's not fancy. So it's possible to do this whole assignment with just stuff that is really very simple. Watch, I'm going to press enter and run it. So the red balloon, A Tale of Joy and Sorrow. I love my red balloon, and I'm taking it for a walk. So the character begins to, uh-oh, the string snapped. Oh, no. And the balloon is floating away. And then all of a sudden, look, miraculous reattachment. How did that happen? I have no idea. This has been both the saddest and happiest day of my life. And then the character walks away, and I got a little bit of a credit at the end. Bingo. All right. Now this one, if you'll look down the timeline, this one actually goes past 25 seconds, so it easily beats the time requirement. 15 seconds is the requirement. Let's look at a different one. Now this one, remember, this is this red balloon movie. One layer, extremely simple artwork, nothing fancy about it, right? Okay, well, here's a different one. And this one is not. This one, I'm not going to lie to you. This one took more work and more thinking and more planning and more time. This one is the one where this guy named Fender Rose is going to jump over a bunch of school buses on his motorcycle. And if you look, even if you look right now at the layers that are on the timeline, there are several different layers. There are different things happening on different layers at different times, and it is a more complex movie. So what you have to kind of do is know yourself a little bit. Can you handle something more complicated, or do you need to keep it simple? And either way is okay. I just showed you one that would get an A+ on this assignment, and it was very simple. One layer, not fancy artwork. Okay, here we go. Let's look at this one. Fender Rose goes for the record. All right, he's that little guy down the bottom left-hand corner. His motorcycle is up the ramp, and here he goes. All right, he's flying, he's flying, he's flying, he's flying. He's reading Harry Potter while he's flying. And he comes down and says, "I'm okay." The end. And there it is. My Fender Rose movie, eh? All right, and so like I said, this one it took more time, more thinking, more planning, more solving problems. I tried things, they didn't work. I tried something else that worked a little better. I tried something else, finally got it to work the way I wanted it to work. So it's that kind of thing. But if you look at something like that and you think, oh gosh, that's scary, I could never do that. Well, then keep it simple. Because like I said, the red balloon movie that I showed you over here is, man, it's one layer. Not a little stick figure taking a balloon for a walk. Here we go. String snaps. Oh no. Balloon floats away. I could have done that in different scenes, but I didn't. I didn't use any scenes in this movie. But you could, right? We did a lesson on scenes, so you can use scenes. You can keep it simple if you want to. You can go for something that's a little more complex if you want to. It's kind of up what you're up for. But you're going to definitely have at least 2 days to work on this. And what I wanted to do in this movie is show you a couple of examples and just kind of get your brain stirring a little bit and try to get started on it today. Get started on an idea and get going. And then on day 2, hopefully I'll be back. And if you run into trouble, I can talk you through things and try to keep you going. If you need that kind of help. All right, let's go.